If you would like the ultimate low-profile minimalist wallet, I want to show you how you can turn something that looks like this into something that looks like this. Now this wallet, this is made out of a Tyvek envelope, FedEx envelope, USPS envelope. This is currently holding 10 bills, 6 credit cards, my insurance card, my library card, my driver's license, and then, let's see, about a stack of a half a dozen of my personal business cards and a half a dozen of my generic business cards in the little wallet. So here's the credit cards on the inside. Here's the money, and I'll prove that there's money in here. Here's the money part, and then there's these little side pockets as well. So I'm going to show you how you can make this, and all you need is one of these, totally free, pair of these, one of these, one of these, and you can make a totally free Tyvek lightweight minimalist envelope. By the way, these things will last forever. I wish I had the one that I've been using for 5 years. Still totally functional, just got dirty and my wife threw it away. But these last forever. Now what I'm going to do to make this video, I'm just going to walk you through the document that you can get in the link in the description below. That's just a PDF that walks you through step by step, because it's easier to do that than to do pretty much anything else I can think of. So here we go. Oh, before we jump in though, the way this happened was that someone gave me the idea for making a do-it-yourself minimalist wallet, because I'm the CEO of Zero Shoes, where we started out with a do-it-yourself sandal making kit. So they figured if I was going to make my own footwear and teach people how to do that, maybe I'd be interested in making my own wallet. And when I looked up the different designs and found a couple examples in store of people who had done Tyvek wallets, I didn't like them. They were too big, too bulky, had too many pockets. I had been carrying around a money clip that was just, barely bigger than, well, what happens when you fold up some bills and carry some credit cards. So I didn't want anything bigger than that. So this is what I ended up coming up with based on some inspiration from some of the designs I saw. And later I was at a trade show where a guy who had a company selling Tyvek wallets, I said, hey, I was inspired by you and I came up with this. And he goes, oh man, can I see that? And I went, no, absolutely not. So I'm sharing this for the first time. I mean, I first came up with this 11 years ago. So this is the first time I'm sharing it, and I hope you enjoy. I want to see what you do. I want to see what you come up with. Maybe you'll find improvements over this even. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so let's dive in. Instruction number 1, get a Tyvek envelope. Again, I'm using a priority mail envelope here, and then you just want to open up the seams. I'm just literally ripping this open with my fingers. Be careful, but you don't have to get too careful about it. And you don't even really I don't care about this edge because I'm not going to use it, as you'll see, but when you open up this edge, you might find yourself using it. When you're done, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Notice I have the glue strip section up at the top. That's going to come in handy in a second. And the next part has to do with mapping it out, which is basically figuring out the dimensions that you want. So you're going to have 4 panels, and you want them to be big enough to handle your money, ostensibly. So if your money is a different size than this, then you can factor that in. In fact, if your money is way bigger than US dollar bills, you might not be able to use the edge this way. You might have to or you might just scoot things in a little bit. I mean, this line might end up over here. And right now you can see there's a crease, a seam right here. You might not be able to use that seam if you're dealing with bigger bills. You'll play with this. Don't try to get it right on the first try. As I say above here, get over your perfectionism. You're going to get it wrong probably the first once or twice, but once you get it down, you're going to love this. It'll be a whole lot of fun. So this is how I lay mine out. You can see there's a little tab drawn in here and a little tab drawn in there that will come in handy. And and then the other thing for the height, you want to make it a little longer than, say, 2 credit cards stacked together. So in this case, this is about 19 centimeters from top to bottom, and I'm using the entire 15.1 centimeters from the crease to the end, and then just adding another 15.1 to the left. So 30.2 centimeters is how I made this one. Again, your size may vary. You'll play with it. Don't worry about it. The other thing is, let's see if I can show this. Oh, and then just cut it out. This is what it's going to look like when you cut it out. This panel here is the panel with the tabs. I'll be referring to that in a second. Next, and by the way, just here's how it looks on the other side. And you're going to want to do one other thing, which is from that top section that had the glue strip. Just cut out these 3 pieces, another trapezoid, 2 little strips. You're going to use those replacing tape, which you can use tape if you wanted to, but why bother? Because you get all this stuff for free with the Tyvek envelope. All right, next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to cut a hole for the credit card. So I'm going to back up so you can see what I'm referring to. In this, when you make this envelope, the inside is going to look like this. So you need to make this hole that your credit cards or ID is going to slide into, and that's our next step. So let's scroll back down for that step, and it's pretty straightforward. As soon as I can get there, take a credit card, and you want to use that just to kind of get a sense of where you're going to be drawing the shape that you want for that slot. And again, I'm using a Zero Shoes business card here just to show off, a little free advertising. But the gist of it is that you're then going to make a shape that you're going to cut out. You can make it round, you can make it square, you can make it star-shaped, you can make it whatever you want. But just draw that. And if you're smart, you could draw this on the inside, but I wasn't that smart. And it doesn't really matter, because what I want you to do is just trim, just cut that out a little bit above or past the line so that you don't end up seeing the line when you're done. And you'll end up with something that looks like this. It's pretty straightforward. Then unfold everything. Here's what it's going to look like. By the way, yes, I used a different envelope here because I had another picture. Don't ask me why. I don't remember. But that's the gist of it. And then you're almost done. This is going to sound crazy, but turn it over so the inside's facing you. Fold the inside panels or the outside panels in. Basically, they're just going to line up with that center seam. And then you can take those little strips that I mentioned before and trim those down. The strip might be 4 times longer than this, but this is the only part that had glue on it. And so just use those to tape the two middle sections together. Really simple. And then when you fold it in half, just folding, let me show back here, just folding these two outside edges in towards each other, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. And believe it or not, you're basically done here. I mean, you're going to see it's almost done, because now what we're going to do, let me scroll back, is take these tabs and we're going to fold them in to secure everything and create the outside pockets that I showed you before. So if you look at the tabs, I'm using the one that has the glue strip on it. If you look, you'll see here's the panel that has the hole for the credit cards. Here's the inside panel. Here's another inside panel. Here's an outside panel. And you'll see there's a slot you can basically make there, and you're going to be folding this tab into that slot and using the glue strip to hold it in place. So here's what it looks like as you're folding it in. And again, don't be too precious about this. You might get it wrong. No big deal. And then when you seal it, it's going to look more like that. And again, not perfect in this example. You might get a little more meticulous and be perfect. Then you're going to flip to the other side and do the same thing, but since that side didn't have a glue strip on the tab, you're going to take that trapezoidal piece, cut out the part that's just the glue, and use that like it's a piece of tape. And then secure that just like you did before. And then, look, you're done. This is what you have once you've done that. Here's your inside with the hole for the credit cards. Here's the outside. And then there's the two side panels. So when you use it, again, credit cards and ID on the inside, business cards, etc., dollars on the dollars in the dollar select section. So here's those outside pockets, or those side pockets for business cards. And here's what it looks like all folded up and ready to go. That's it. I hope you make this envelope wallet, and I hope you enjoy it. Send me pictures of what you do. And secondly, I hope this inspires you to make your own variations. Maybe this will give you the fundamental idea of how to make a Tyvek envelope wallet, and you'll come up with your own cool designs. I would love to see them. I'm not going to copy them. I'm not going to try and commercialize this. I just want to see what creative things you come up with. And maybe I hope this inspires you to think of other DIY projects you might want to do, like, oh, I don't know, maybe a pair of do-it-yourself walking, hiking, running sandals from ZeroShoes.com. Or maybe, you don't want to make your own shoes, but you want to go check out ZeroShoes.com for the most unbelievably comfortable shoes, boots, and sandals your feet will ever love. Even if all you do is make your envelope wallet and you don't buy Zero Shoes, that's cool. I hope you enjoy that. And even still, I will offer you the sign-off that I give for people at Zero Shoes. Go out, have fun, live life, feet first.